And shall we turn in our Bibles to Revelation chapter 4. John tells us, after this. The word after this is the translation of the Greek word metatauta. And literally it is after these things. And this particular word introduces us to the third section of the book of Revelation. In chapter 19, the Lord told John, write the things which you have seen, the things which are, and then the things which will be after these things, metatauta. So, in chapter 1, he describes the vision of Christ walking in the midst of the seven golden candlesticks, holding the seven stars in his right hand. Chapters 2 and 3, we understand that these seven stars are the ministers of the seven churches of Asia that the Lord does address. And as you look at these churches, you see that each of the churches represents a period of church history, beginning with Ephesus, the early church, and moving on to Laodicean, the church that is of the modern church of today, which is really apostate. We then have the history of the church, and after these things, after what things? The things of chapters 2 and 3, the things of the church. What is going to happen when the church age has come to an end? We do read in the Bible that blindness has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles is come in. What happens when the fullness of the Gentiles is come in? The Lord's going to rapture his church, and God will deal with Israel for a 7-year period, and then the Lord will come with his church to establish God's kingdom upon the earth. So it's exciting to realize that we are living in the times prior to the rapture of the church, but the fullness of the Gentiles is almost complete. So after these things, I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were a trumpet. It was talking with me, and it said, come up hither, and I will show you things which must be after these things, the repeating of the metatauta. So it definitely gets us into the next section of the book, which is future. We're still in the things of the church. We're still here. But when the church is raptured. Now, John is describing this. After these things, the things of the church, the door opened in heaven, and the voice saying unto me, come up hither. I'll show you things after these things. You say, well, trumpets don't talk. Yes, they do. It used to be, before our modern communications and all that, when armies went forth, they used trumpets to call the troops to different things. If you heard the trumpet going da-da-da, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, it's telling you time to go to sleep. If you hear it da-da-da-da-da-da, it's telling you time to get up. And so the trumpets were used, and the trumpets would signal da-da-da-da-da-da, charge, you know. So all of these things did speak. And it's interesting that the Bible, in talking about the rapture of the church, does speak about the trump of God. In 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4, as he talks about the rapture, Paul there speaks about the Lord coming with the trump of God. And so then in 1 Corinthians, as he's talking about the rapture, chapter 15, he again speaks about the trumpet of God, or the last trump. And so I don't know what the sound of the trumpet will be. Maybe charge. I mean, I'll be glad to charge into heaven. But there will be a trumpet blast that will have a particular message of, come up hither. I'll show you things which must be after these things, or things of the future. So in the book of Revelation, we are now stepping into the future. These things have not yet transpired. We are waiting for them to transpire. We're waiting for that trumpet, actually, that calls the church on into the heavenly scene. So I'll show you things which must be after these things. And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, there was a throne set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. The first thing that John sees when he gets to heaven is the throne of God, and one sitting upon the throne. Now it is interesting, there is no endeavor by John to try and describe the one sitting upon the throne. He just describes the things that surround the one that is sitting on the throne. He that sat there was to look upon like a jasper. It is thought that the jasper was possibly a diamond, and the prominent or predominant color is purple. And then the sardine, which is a sort of a crystal type stone, which is red. And then there was a rainbow around the throne, in the sight like unto an emerald, and thus green. So he sees these stones flashing with color, the purple, the emerald green, and the sardine red. And around the throne were 24 lesser thrones. These are the 24 elders. Now, just who are these elders? There are some who see them as representing the church, and that they are representative of the church in heaven, sitting on these lesser thrones. The Bible tells us that we will be judging the angels, and it's quite possible that the 24 lesser thrones and the elders on them are truly representative of the church. Others say they are representing the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles. And that, of course, is a possibility also. And still others say that they are just special creatures. They are an angel type of being, and they are just a special creation of God, and not really representing humans. I sort of personally lean toward, but surely not dogmatic, because I don't think you can be in something like this, but I do lean toward the idea that they are representing the church there in heaven. So round about the throne, 24 thrones, the word seats there is actually thrones, and 24 elders sitting clothed in white raiment. Unto the bride was given white raiment, and thus this is what causes many to think that it is the church, and the white raiment is the righteousness of the saints. We are told in other places in the New Testament. And they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne there proceeded lightnings, thunderings, voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. And before the throne